Hello, guys. In this session, we will talk about, the third topic in your chapter one, that is sociology and common sense. Okay. So again, there can be a potential question from this area, and it will be very straightforward mostly, and you will see questions like sociology and common sense directly, or you'll get question like sociology is nothing more than common sense discuss, or you will get question like sociology is much more than common sense. So either they will tell sociology is nothing more than common sense and discuss, much more than common sense and discuss, or analyze or critically analyze. It's actually the same. The framework and everything will be the same. So first thing that you need to do here is you need to always talk about the context of emergence of sociology, right? So you will say, before, see, any question from the first three chapters, you will talk about emergence of sociology. So first line you will write sociology emerged in response to challenges posed before modernity in medieval Europe. There is no question about that, right? So you're talking about medieval Europe, you're talking about modernity, you're talking about challenges, you're talking about the context and the distinct discipline and everything. And initial sociologists, what they wanted to do, they wanted to make it similar to natural science. So they tried to use such kind of methods and everything. And during over a period of time, the questions were raised whether sociology, because you study in sociology most of the things which is already known to people, right? So people mistakenly believe that sociology is nothing more than common sense. So that is actually the context. And then what you need to do is you need to talk about the similarities, you need to talk about the differences, and you need to talk about the interconnection, and you need to conclude by saying that there is no such contradictions. In fact, both are mutually respectable and mutually beneficial. That the way you are going to conclude. Okay. So let's start answering this question. See, you will be writing like the scope of sociology mainly draw from understanding of society. So why sociology emerged? To study social changes and to study society. And what are the various constituents of society? If you see like religion, family, all these are already rooted in the minds of the people. You already know about this, right? So most of the things that a sociologist study or sociology study are already rooted in the minds of the people. And this is the context where many people mistakenly believe that sociology is nothing but the application of commonsensical knowledge, because it's already rooted in the minds of the people and you already have some idea, and the question is what is there to study in this. So again, it is often argued that sociological study is quite obvious because it's already known to you, right? And that's the reason why this topic you need to delineate or differentiate and make it clear the difference between the two. Okay, so the relationship between the two, guys. First, what you need to do, you need to define what is common sense, you need to define what is sociology, talk about the differences between two, how sociology is different from common sense, talk about the similarities, there are similarities, that's why this confusion is there, and then talk about the interconnection and how it is mutually beneficial. So this is going to be our framework. Okay, so what is common sense? See, commonsensical explanation represent the things that everybody know about the social world or human behavior, something which is there in the minds of everyone. Most of the people know about this. That's what common sense. So these views are in the nature of beliefs which common man carries in the mind, right? We carry certain beliefs. But the thing is that the belief that you carry in your mind may not be correct all the time, but it is not necessarily incorrect also. Okay, so but what we believe that, or in general, people believe that, you know, it is true, right? Whatever belief that you carry in mind, it is assumed to be true by the common people. So this is about common sense. And is there anyone to test the validity of the commonsensical view? No, right? So the validity of commonsensical view is not generally questioned. But if you look at sociology, on the other hand, sociological knowledge or views or understanding is based on arguments and evidence and reason. It is tested, it is based on certain logic, it is based on certain reason, and it is based on certain evidence, it is based on certain studies which are conducted. These are not simply in the nature of assumptions like what we have discussed in case of common sense. These are arguments which are based on evidence and reason. So this is what you can write in the first paragraph, the difference between, or the definition of common sense or understanding of common sense and understanding of sociology. Now we can talk about the differences and the similarities and the relationship between the both, right? So let's start with the difference. First one, see, sociological knowledge is the product of theory development and testing, right? So you talk about theory, you do different studies and develop the theory and testing. But what about common sense? It is not based on any theories or any testing or any logic. It is based on the assumptions of individual, the common man. So that's the first difference. Coming to the second one, sociological knowledge is based on insights into human society and culture. So these insights are often objective and coherent because you have done a proper study. But if you look at common sense, these are not coherent and these contradict also. For example, let's talk about the statements like birds of the same feather flock together, right? Commonsensical understanding, opposites attract. So birds of the same feather flock together and opposites attract. Are they contradictory statements? So that's the problem with common sense. Now, coming to common sense again, it's sometimes you see a general perception based on individual experience. We carry certain beliefs in our mind based on our experience also. But that's not the case with sociology. Sociology aims to generate a worldview on the basis of experiences which are tested, not just based on an individual experience, right? For example, general perception about crime. So, see, that is your common sense about crime, right? But that's not the case. There are different studies which will be conducted and understand that. Again, when it comes to commonsensical view, they tend to reinforce the status quo, the situation, what is present, that remains, it should be there, and it resists the social change. But if you look at sociological knowledge, it meant to be progressive, right? And it promotes social change in a desirable direction. For example, when we talk about caste system, the commonsensical view that the belief and assumptions that you carry in your mind, they tend to legitimize the caste. But sociological understanding tend to reject the caste system and promote social change in a desirable direction. Correct? Again, commonsensical views are often based on the images that get reinforced through stereotypes. But if you see the sociological views, it's not based on stereotypes. In fact, it challenges the stereotypes. For example, the images that you carry about a hero or villain, saints, right? So these are the images that you carry, which is based on stereotypes. Coming to the similarities. Let's talk about similarities now. What are the things which are in common? See, concepts in sociology are framed by taking into consideration commonsensical understanding. In fact, this acts as a starting point for the development of context for sociology. So common sense is going to act as the beginning or the starting point for the development of sociology. So in that way, there is some similarity. Again, commonsensical views provide raw material for sociological investigation. So the problems or the issues which are addressed by sociology are taken from the commonsensical view. For example, if you talk about sociology of gender, which aims at questioning or analyzing the commonsensical view about gender. Now, another one. Common sense also help in the development of discipline, as it often criticizes the sociological conclusions, which again enrich the discipline. So, see, when we talk about further, sometimes sociological knowledge become part of the commonsensical knowledge, and thereby helping the development of common sense also. For example, once you start studying sociology, your understanding on family, religion, politics, and everything will change. That automatically become part of your commonsensical knowledge, and that will lead to development of your common sense also. So now how can you conclude? Simply say that the relation between the two, are mutually beneficial to each other. It is not contradictory, right? So it's very intricate and mutually beneficial. So the postmodern theorists even claim that there is no such thing, else the truth and all knowledge is uncertain. So there is no question of relative superiority or inferiority in this context. And if you try to understand or go behind that, there is no meaning for that. So guys, that's about the topic, sociology and common sense. So first you need to understand the context, talk about that, because many people mistakenly believe that sociology is nothing more than the application of common sense. Why? Because what sociology studies quite obvious and already rooted in the minds of the people, and they believe that they already know about this. So that's the context. Then define what is sociology, define what is common sense, talk about similarities, talk about differences, and then come to the conclusion. So that's about this session, guys. Thank you so much. In case if you want the sociology complete course, the link is given in the description. If you're looking for the mentorship program or the test series also, you can get in touch with us. The details are given in the description. See you in the next video.